What's going on, guys? I'm Weston Mack and welcome back to another 10-minute video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over competition for Overwatch, and is Marvel Rivals still the heavy hitter it was a year and a half ago now? And yes, Overwatch is turning 10 years old, which is kind of insane. We've been talking about this game for 10 years. We've been playing this game for 10 years, and the fact that it's been able to compete at such a high level, and truly, it's only ever had two major competitors. And I'll explain those competitors in a second. If you please like and subscribe. Yes, you're being bombed with like and subscribe. You need to like and subscribe to this video right now, or else. Anyways, it's really only had two major competitors. You're probably wondering, what are these two major competitors? Of course, one of them is Marvel Rivals. I mean, in 2024, I mean, that really bursted out onto the scene in a huge way. And while Overwatch had its own reaction, I think things like perks and stadium were really refined out. Things were, they were already coming in the first place before even Rivals came out. But in my opinion, I think they truly locked in. Things like loot boxes being so heavily available in that first season, I think, was a large contributor from Rivals. Kind of reminds me of the old, I think something came out with Fortnite at the same time, and Fortnite released like a free battle pass or something. So in my opinion, yes, I think they were really kind of putting them to the grill and being like, hey, we're here to stay. And a year and a half out, they truly are here to stay. I mean, we're going to go over some Twitch numbers and some Steam numbers in a second. I do want to give a disclaimer about how I am measuring these numbers, as we do not have the Battle.net numbers, as that is either the #1 or the #2 source for Overwatch. I will also not be going over console numbers, as those are too inconsistent to really consider. And on top of that, keep in mind for the Twitch numbers that the new Marvel Rivals season just came out with Deadpool, so they might be a little skewed towards Marvel Rivals overall. So, numbers. We're going to be going over the numbers on Steam for this. Like I said earlier, it won't be amazing for Overwatch, but I'll get into how I'm calculating the Battle.net numbers using articles. So, in the month of December, I'll be going over December as the numbers, as that month is complete. The overall peak for Overwatch on Steam, and I was actually really surprised while researching this video, is actually 51,000. I didn't know that many people played on Steam, for one. That's kind of insane. I know very little people who've actually switched, only a couple people, mostly for the clipping aspect, and apparently you can get like cool backgrounds or something. But this player count, from what I understand, is a very small percentage of people who are actually swapping from BNet to Steam, and it's mostly people who are playing for the first time or starting on Steam, which is quite interesting. I really didn't expect that when they did add it to the Steam library. So yes, 51,000 peak was in December 8th of 2025, and the overall peak for Rivals in 2025 in December was 152,000. So a 100,000 difference, which is kind of crazy. I literally just gulped. And I think, if I remember correctly, that might have been a new season drop. Maybe like a patch, I believe, was on December 12th. So that is a 100,000 player difference, which is kind of major. Now keep in mind, this is without BNet numbers, and I'll give my own calculations and numbers when it comes to this. I have gone through countless articles, and I've been really fair as hard as I can. I have tried my best to research what these numbers could be, but the overall guesstimations for a peak in December could have been in the hundreds of thousands range. From what I saw, peak for January, it was somewhere in between 100,000 to 150,000 just on Battle.net alone, which is not including the Steam numbers. So theoretically, Overwatch is at least competing with Rivals in December, so in the 150,000 range, or could be more than 200,000 on PC alone. Again, no console numbers, and also I'm having to go based off of articles and stats, and however these people are calculating their numbers. I had to get rid of the high and the low, because people are like, actually, nobody's playing Overwatch. There's only 25,000 people playing max in December. I'm like, that's just wrong. And then I've also seen people calculate with Steam numbers and be like, actually, it was like more like 300 to 400,000. I would like to believe that, but I don't believe that. So in my opinion, more than likely Overwatch is at least competing with Rivals, or has a 50 to 100,000 break on Rivals in December. So yeah, those are the overall numbers that I could find for the games, and that's at least saying these numbers, how I'm perceiving them, is saying that yes, Overwatch is still very popular, but Rivals is taking a large portion of that fan base. I mean, a 150,000 player fan base on a rival game, no pun intended, but truly Rivals is a direct competition and rival for Overwatch, no matter what you say. So those 150,000 people, I don't know how much of that is a cross. People are playing both of these games. I know people like Super TF, Frogger, Aspen are playing Rivals and Overwatch. However, in my own personal experience, I don't really do that. I have friends who don't really do that, and I've quit Rivals or have quit Overwatch for a number of reasons, and have stayed with either or the game, so I can't fully say whether or not these numbers are comparable. But I think that these are truly independent players that are not going back and forth between the games, and they are sticking with their game. So this could be potentially up to 350,000 to 400,000 players that are all individually playing both of these games. So that's some serious competition. I think a lot of that is getting pulled away from Overwatch, which is kind of crazy to think about. That is a true competitor status when it comes to numbers. A couple other things when it comes to Twitch numbers. Overwatch is behind Rivals at 8,000 viewers compared to 14,000 viewers. I'm recording this at night, so I don't know how true those numbers are, but I have seen recently that Rivals normally has a little bit better numbers post the release of the season compared to Overwatch right now. So I think it's probably like, I don't know, either it goes to Rivals or it's dead even. And then a public look of the game, I think both of them are in a decent overall look. None of them are in major controversies. Rivals still has the Gunnar skins. Overwatch is still kind of slow with their patch notes and being annoying, and that they're not nerfing Zarya. And also, Rivals also has a little bit of a issue when it comes to Gambit. They're kind of in the same predicament that Overwatch was with Brig, where they added an anti-dive hero, and now that anti-dive hero is ruining the game a little bit. I recently saw a clip of the competitive Marvel Rivals scene literally not shooting anybody so that they didn't charge the Gambit ult. That is the most insane thing I've ever seen before, and they have a couple issues with balancing as well. Who does it? Hey, who does it? Hey, I'm balancing here. I don't know what that was. Anyways, so competition. What's going on here? With these numbers and the data and reactions from my friends and my own reactions to the games, in my opinion, is Marvel Rivals still a competitor a year and a half out? Does Overwatch truly still have competition? Absolutely it does. Marvel Rivals has been digging and biting at the heels of Overwatch for the entire time it's been out. And I think it truly does show. While Overwatch maybe had a fast response initially, I think that there's still room to improve and things that they can change. And I know they're in their yearly update whole thing where they really only update the game every about 6 months to a year in a major way between their seasonal updates, and that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I honestly think that Overwatch truly has had to change up their game and put out more content and be more wary of Rivals being on their tail. I think Aaron Keller did an interview around the same time that Marvel Rivals was popping off when it first released, and he did say that there is competition out there and they see what Marvel Rivals is doing, and they should. I mean, it would be arrogant to say the least if they just did not look at Rivals and how competitive they are as a hero shooter compared to a scene that is not hero shooter based. These two games alone, in my opinion, have held up the hero shooter genre alone, and also Paladins is there too. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys have. This is more of just me putting out some stats and a little bit of ideas and thoughts. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. You're about to see the most insane clutch in the world here. I promise we're not about to lose. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions and ideas, please leave them down below. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to think. And please be nice in the comments. It'd be cool if everybody can be nice to each other. I saw people were arguing and being really mean, and I didn't like that. So just be nice in the comments. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys next time. See, I clutched. I definitely clutched.